Adam Elliot I see as a symptom of radical authenticity being expressed through deeply layered and poignant art. His films are wholly disturbing but deeply heartwarming and real. Adam is a filmmaker in the purest sense of the word. His art is a labour of love and trauma that comes together and is expressed through a genre often discounted as novelty or infantile: claymation. Elliot challenges this notion through his undeniable talent and storytelling abilities. His films, Mary and Max, as well as Memoir of a Snail, are both undeniably weird and fantastically off-putting stories. Despite this, the films don't feel characteristic of a disturbed man thinking up strange tales simply to be a postmodern martyr of New Age creativity, as many such independent filmmakers seem to. No, rather his films soften these edges through radically and uncomfortably real characters, as ridiculous as their eccentricities may present. Elliot pays homage to simple story tropes. He has comedic moments, plainly sad moments, and most everything you would expect from a film which has defined exposition, conflict, and resolution. His films are wholly unique and special, but they aren't overpowered by Elliot's ego or need to be a trailblazer of new creativity. He is, but it's natural and it's delightfully implicit. Elliot loves to use colour palettes as a way to distinguish between worlds. Throughout Mary and Max, both Mary and Max are shown through two specific and distinctly different and contrasting colour and lighting states. Mary in a beige, bleak but warmly lit suburbia, and Max in a film noir black and white New York, heart-wrenchingly isolating set. The instances where these colour palettes are not stuck to are always in instances of intense symbolic meaning. Within Max's apartment in person, the first thing that sticks out as different to the viewer is Max's yarmulke, shown as a bright orange poof sitting defiantly above the greyscape of the city. This instance, a break in convention to represent a keystone of Max's character and characterization, values, is a perfect example of Elliot's keen eye for detail and symbolism and the way he expresses this through coats. The use of these contrasting colour palettes also highlights the narrative device of two separate stories that intersect, expressing this through the colour palettes. Undeniably, one could write a thesis on the brilliance and exuberance of Elliot's renderings of characters so intensely alive and unconstrained. Pinky is a perfect example of Elliot's imagination conceiving an entirely new character that feels immediately integrated into the world, as if she exists in a sense so implicit it predates the viewer. From Pinky's red-framed glasses framing her shrunken eyes against her wiry black streaks of hair, to her red earrings so large they loom like overgrown acorns on a sapling, she feels entirely individual, yet somehow you must have seen her at your local Woolies. Then we have Max, a socially isolated and rigid autistic New York Jew. He is scarcely a step away from caricature, but what draws him back is his costuming and character design. His eyes and nose sit in a constant state of despair and confusion. He is a kind man who is round as a ball and as ill-fashioned as skinny jeans. He is intensely individual, but not as a conscious decision, but rather because he had no other way to be. Max feels to the audience as a soul who is born into a world unsuited. This picture of Max is painted in deep-set round eyes in tracksuits, each one hand-sculpted, in a large yarmulke, sculpted to the protrusion from Max's head. His design is subtle yet comical in a way that accentuates and defines but doesn't feel caricature-esque. Adam Elliot had an extremely unique upbringing, and this influence becomes apparent within his films. Born on a shrimp farm in Berwick to a retired circus acrobat and an apprentice hairdresser, the farm quickly went broke and Adam moved to Melbourne. He often referred to school as unbearable, but despite this hesitancy, Elliot went on to the Victorian College of the Arts, where he received multiple academic awards for his short film Uncle, a claymation masterpiece that Elliot made, making every set himself, making every character himself, making every set design himself, and shooting every frame himself. Despite many offers from production companies, Elliot went on to work exclusively with small and independent production companies, meaning his work is largely unaffected and removed from any corporate messages and influences. This results in films that exist purely as a reflection of one's unbridled and wonderfully individual creativity. It doesn't take a PhD to understand that Elliot has hit his stride. He has mastered his craft, inserted subtlety in codes and whimsy in convention to create a product distinctly and undeniably individual.